Over the years, there has been ongoing debate surrounding the notion that Red Bull tailors its car designs to suit specific drivers. When Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon joined the team, they faced challenges adapting, and currently, Sergio Perez is experiencing the same difficulties. But why? Find out in today's video. So, don't go anywhere. Max Verstappen is often associated with his preference for a pointy front end that can lead to a less stable rear, a driving style that not all drivers, like Checo Perez, find equally comfortable. As of the 2023 standings, there is a significant 177-point gap between the two drivers on the team. The current champion has the opportunity to secure a new title this weekend in Qatar, while the Mexican driver continues his efforts to bounce back from a challenging period. The noticeable gap between the two drivers is indeed quite striking. This isn't the first time the suggestion has arisen that Red Bull may have tailored their car design around Verstappen's preferences. Lando Norris has expressed his thoughts on this matter, which leads to an interesting dimension, especially considering the strong rumours linking his name to a potential future move to Red Bull. While speaking to Racing News 365, the McLaren star said, "It's not down to the team to just make a car design for a person. Maybe that's a perfect world. It's our job to deliver no matter what the car is." Max said something very similar the other day after Toto Wolff made the comment about the Red Bull. "I don't think you can just design a car for someone. It just doesn't work like that. It's very much down to the driver to drive the car they're given. I think this way, if I end up being slower than my teammates because of whatever reason, then I'm not doing a good enough job. It's as simple as that. It's the driver's job. That's why we're here." Norris' comments appear to contradict the viewpoints put forth by Sergio Perez fans. So, if Red Bull isn't playing favourites when it comes to car design, then why is Checo so much slower than Max? Let's hear it from the horse's mouth. Perez holds the belief that his Mexican background plays a role in shaping how he is perceived and treated by the Formula One media. In recent weeks, Perez's nationality has garnered significant attention, primarily because of remarks made by Red Bull Motorsport advisor Helmut Marko. The 80-year-old Austrian hinted that Perez's nationality might be a factor in his struggle to match Max Verstappen's performance this season. Marko offered faint praise for Perez when he spoke with Service TV, where he said, "Let's remember that he is South American, and so his head is not as focused as Max Verstappen or as Sebastian Vettel was, but racing is his forte, and he had a very good race." After getting flack for his statement, Marko publicly issued an apology through Service TV, saying, "Concerning my remark about Sergio Perez, Service TV Sport and Talk, Monday, September 4th, I would like to apologise for my offensive remark. I want to make it absolutely clear that I do not believe that we can generalise about the people from any country, any race, any ethnicity. I was trying to make a point that Checo has fluctuated in his performance this year, but it was wrong to attribute this to his cultural heritage." Perez, in a public statement, acknowledged Marko's apology, expressing his understanding that the Austrian wasn't intentionally being malicious. He also mentioned that they had private conversations where Marko had extended further apologies. However, Perez raised some eyebrows with nationality-focused comments of his own during a recent appearance at a Ford campus in Mexico. During this event, he discussed the criticism he has faced over the course of this season. Perez cited the example of George Russell's dramatic crash in Singapore, where the Mercedes driver lost a podium finish by hitting the wall on the final lap. Perez claimed that had Russell been Mexican, the media response would have been much more malicious, as reported by the Spanish publication Marca. "We saw it with Russell. He crashed from third place on the last lap, but you don't hear anyone talking about it. If something like that happens at Red Bull, you immediately have 300 media channels on your roof telling you that you have to leave. This kind of thing happens often in Formula One, and that's how it works in a team environment. Also, I have the feeling that the fact that I'm Mexican also has a big influence." Former Formula One driver Christian Albers expressed his surprise at Sergio Perez retaining his Red Bull seat, considering the team's history of making ruthless decisions. Perez's contract is slated to run until the conclusion of the 2024 season, but there has been speculation that his underwhelming performances may lead to his replacement. Perez has found himself in the spotlight after 2 consecutive disappointing performances, finishing in P8 in Singapore and suffering a retirement in Japan. Compounding his troubles, costly penalties were incurred over both weekends. Albers expressed his surprise at Perez holding on to his seat, particularly in light of Nick de Vries being swiftly replaced earlier in the season. While on the Telegraph podcast, Albers said, "Even though he can look at Max's data, he is unable to improve and close the gap. The gap is in fact only increasing. At some point they'll see it's impossible to keep justifying this. The story will have to end somewhere. If you see how destructive Horner and Marco were towards de Vries, it actually amazes me that they continue to keep Perez." De Vries was initially brought in to team up with Yuki Tsunoda at AlphaTauri at the start of the 2023 season, following an impressive showing at Monza in 2022. However, the Dutch driver's tenure was short-lived, as he was replaced by Daniel Ricciardo after just 10 races, falling short of the team's expectations. Indeed, Red Bull has a history of making mid-season driver changes. A notable example was when Daniil Kvyat was replaced by Max Verstappen in 2016, and in 2019, Pierre Gasly was swapped out for Alex Albon. Despite ongoing speculation about Perez's potential replacement within the team, Red Bull team principal Christian Horner has affirmed his intention to keep Perez until the conclusion of his contract. However, he has also disclosed that the team remains open to exploring other options once Perez's contract expires in 2024. He said, "At Red Bull Racing, we want the best two drivers that are available. We've got a long-term contract with Max Verstappen. Checo Perez is out of contract at the end of 24, and so you want to explore and see all of those options. Checo is in the hot seat at the moment and will obviously be keen to extend. We'll see how Daniel does, we'll see how Yuki does, and, in the background, we'll see what Liam is capable of in the test and reserve role." In other news, Christian Horner acknowledges that their period of dominance in Formula One will, eventually, come to an end. He's well aware that his counterpart at Mercedes, Toto Wolff, will be strategizing to bring about this change. Red Bull has firmly established itself as a dominant force in the ground effect era of Formula One, clinching both the 2022 title and appearing poised to repeat the feat in F1 2023. The Constructors' title has already been secured, courtesy of Max Verstappen's victory at the Japanese Grand Prix. Verstappen now needs just a top 6 finish in the upcoming Qatar Grand Prix sprint race to clinch his 3rd consecutive World Championship title. Horner and Wolff haven't always had a harmonious relationship, but there exists a mutual respect between them. Horner considers his rivalry with Wolff as a crucial aspect of the sport, recognizing that the Mercedes boss is likely eager to improve their rapport once again, as expressed by Horner in an interview with Sky Sports News. "For me, sport is about rivalry. It's great to have rivalry. There has to be a respect, but sport isn't sport without rivalry. Obviously, we haven't seen much of him the last couple of years, but I'm sure he's plotting. I'm sure he's got something that they're working on. They're a great team. They are a big team. They've got great drivers. They'll be looking to fight back." Horner, however, remains level-headed, understanding that whether it's Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, or another team vying for the position of the best, someone will eventually rise to challenge and attempt to displace Red Bull from their dominant position. "It hurts when you're losing, and if it doesn't hurt, then you shouldn't be doing it," said Horner. "We had a long period, 6 to 7 seasons of hurt, of being the bridesmaid, but we never lost sight of where we wanted to be. We were the team to break that Mercedes domination, and everything goes in cycles. At some point, somebody will beat us. Now, whether it's Mercedes, or Ferrari, or McLaren, or Aston Martin, or whoever, we don't know. But all we can control is what we're doing. So that's what we're focused on, is ourselves." In your opinion, is Checo being treated fairly over at Red Bull? Tell us what you think in the comment section down below. And, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.